Hey, Internet. We are back again for the next installment of Death Engineering's Race into Space. We are resuming our career here. It is the fall of 1961. Let's see what Carter Walkwright has in store for us this year.
Good evening. Developments in the news today. The primary crew of the launch has caught the common cold. Space officials have announced that the backup crew will take their place on the mission. And that's the news. I'm Carter Walkwright.
Okay, well, it looks like we have a bit of a shakeup in our first launch here for an orbital attempt. That is okay. We do have our backup crew. They're both equally capable and ready to go. Also in the news is some new information from the CIA. We'll definitely have to check this out. First of all, let's go ahead and assemble our Earth orbital here. We have 82% on the Mercury and 98% on the Atlas, so that's pretty reliable. Now we'll go ahead and assign this, and we do have that unmanned Earth orbital here with the Gemini and a Titan. We don't need to purchase anything there; those are already purchased in stock from when we purchased the program. We'll go ahead and assign this. Now, we do have 42 megabucks left over here in the fall. So why don't we go ahead and put some more research here? Oh, you know what? We have the safety factor fully researched for R&D on the Mercury. It can't get any higher than 82 by R&D. You can get up to 92 by flying it, but only 82 in R&D. Well, that's as good as it's going to get then. How about the Atlas? Can this be any better? I don't think it can. That's as high as it's going to get. Okay, well, let's go a little bit further here in the spacesuits. We're only going to put 3 megabucks into the spacesuits. We have that up to 91% now on the EVA suit safety factor. That's fantastic. 39 megabucks left. It is the fall. We do have a new year coming up here, spring of 1962, with a new budget year. We'll have to swing by the CIA and see what they have learned for us about what those Russians are up to. But we have that 39 megabucks left over. Let's see. Put 20 into the Titan. It gets us up to 70% on the Titan. And 10 megabucks into the Gemini gets us up to 51%. So we're doing pretty good now on the Gemini and the Titan combination. We don't have the crew for it yet, so let's go ahead and see what's going on in the Mercury program here. So we do have a flight crew that's planned for an upcoming mission, and we have a backup crew that's been backup crew this turn here, so they're on a backup crew already. So we still have one flight crew, I think, that we can still assign, maybe even two. So let's continue on here. We're gonna do 2 more Earth orbitals. We'll do one with Walker and backup of Grissom. We're focusing basically just on capsule, the CA ability here. We'll go with this one here. We're going to go a little bit different. We're going to include an orbital EVA this time, even though we have a -2 and A-OK now. I think it's giving us a -2 because we haven't completed the orbital yet, but if we successfully complete the orbital, we're going to be able to complete the orbital EVA. If something happens on the Earth orbital mission, we may be scaling this mission back here. But let's go ahead and set up Wood here as primary. Again, the CA4, we want our capsule ability to be the highest possible, really. Well, actually, if they do an EVA this mission, we want to kind of consider that too. So we have EVA2, EVA0, EVA2, CA1, EVA. Well, you know what? Wood's our best choice here. CA4, EVA2. Shepard, you're our backup. Okay, all of our flight crews are assigned for next season. We have an Earth orbital and an orbital EVA. those may well be our last two Mercury missions, as we'll be focusing on the Gemini missions here very soon. But we do have our future missions. Can't afford any astronauts. We have 9 megabucks left over. On track here for 119 next year. That's pretty good. Okay, well, let's go ahead and see what kind of interesting news the CIA has brought for us. CIA statistics. All right, so, the blue here is our success rate or our safety factor on this Explorer probe here. Here's the Ranger, I think. Now they're now here on the lifters now. Looks like the CIA is expecting their second generation rocket to be considerably further along than ours. Looks like they're still working on a single crew capsule. Looks like they haven't done any development at all into a 2-crew capsule yet. Okay. And their EVA suits are roughly the same distance along. So we're pretty evenly matched here, I would say. We're still in a race to achieve the first Earth orbital mission here. The Russians haven't achieved it, and neither have we. It could be this year. It could be the Russians. It could be us. We have that 9 megabucks left, so let's go ahead and just kind of make sure that we spend everything we have. We have 9 left. We'll put that into that Ranger, bring it up from 58 up to 70. Let's go ahead and end this turn. Okay, so first up here, we have an Earth orbital, October 1961. We are definitely in a race for space now against the Russians. This is, I believe, just about the time when Gagarin would have done his flight.
Hey, Roger, periscope has retracted. That's the first periscope pickup. Rain bus 24 volts, 26 amps.
Seco here, Roger. Shut down. Flag cut over, cut off.
Good luck, crew.
We have commit. We have liftoff. Liftoff at 7:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Tower clear, 13 seconds.
And that flight is on before green. Acceleration.
Hello, commit. Man, you're looking very good. Roger. Real good shape here. Real fine. God looks good.
Got a stage step coming up here. Orbital insertion burn successful. We are in orbit.
How do you stand? I go, flag. Roger, Capcom, we're go.
What do we got here? Glenn reports we have a fuel propellant problem, fuel gauge error. Okay, well, you just go ahead and turn that gauge off there, Glenn, and continue on with your mission.
How do you stand? I go, flag. Roger, Capcom, we're go.
Well, that definitely is historically accurate there. We got John Glenn having kind of a hairy deorbit burn. All systems go.
Roger, is the drove holding on? Roger, drove looks good. Roger, re-entry checklist complete. Standing by for main at 10. Roger. Chute looks good. On O2 emergency and the chute looks very good.
that's looking pretty good, even though we had a couple of hairy moments there. A fuel sensor leak and minor aberration on the deorbit burn. I assume he had to keep his landing package on as he did in the real-life attempt here. Landing bag deployed light came on, I guess you call it. Give us a little thumbs up there, John. That's pretty awesome. That's a ticker tape parade there for you, John. You got yourself 12 prestige points and the first successful orbital of a single crew. We have the unmanned Earth orbital launch here of the Gemini on Titan. This is uncrewed. We're just testing the equipment here. Do love seeing a Titan launch, especially when a Gemini is on top.
9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff.
Having at 14 psi. Oxygen go. Cabin pressure is holding at 5.5. Cabin holding at 5.5. 5.5 cabin. Oxygen go. I got a pitch and a roll program and this baby is really going.
Roger that. Stand by for mode 1 Bravo.
That's a lovely liftoff. That's not bad at all. Right away, Houston.
Trajectory's good. Thrust is good.
It's a shot of Florida falling away from us. That's beautiful. Oh, looks so good there. So what do we have? An engine burn failure. So the mission step 1 Gemini check. So we needed 79 and we had 51% success on that piece. So even though we did have a mission failure here on the Gemini, we test the equipment, we learn what breaks, and we hope it doesn't break next time. 12 prestige points, and we are now in spring 1962.
Good evening. Developments in the news today. The United States announced today the construction of a small launch facility for ICBM tests at Wallops Island, Virginia. And that's the news. I'm Carter Walkwright.
Interesting, look at that. Wallops Island, Virginia. That is actually pretty close to home. Looks like they're flying little Joes out of there. I'm not sure if that's historically accurate. That's pretty interesting, though. All right, let's go ahead and go. Oh, look at that, though. 143 megabucks. Oh, we are kicking ass and taking names. Those Russians are getting nervous. 1961. We are well ahead of the game here. Nobody in Arlington Cemetery yet. Definitely a good sign. I don't think the information in the CIA statistics has changed yet. So let's go ahead and assemble our Earth orbital equipment here. We do need to purchase another Mercury, another Atlas, and one more Mercury, one more Atlas. Since our Earth orbital there came off without a hitch, we have no reason to downgrade this mission. We could, however, if we needed to, we could actually downgrade this from an orbital EVA down to an Earth orbital, or even a suborbital. But or scrub, look at that, I could do that. But no, we'll go ahead and leave it as the original mission. So we have an Earth orbital and an orbital EVA planned this year. We have no reason to rush, as we've already beaten the Russians into space. We are getting to the end of our usefulness of the Mercury program, so we're going to go ahead and break up the flight crew of our Mercury here. I believe we have a flight crew that's assigned. These two here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get these two out of the Mercury program. And we could transfer them to Gemini, but Gemini needs two crew as it is, and two crew is only going to give us one flight crew. So instead, let's take John Glenn here. It looks like that one means that he's done on one mission. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. Of course, Race into Space is different than Buzz Aldrin's Race into Space. It didn't do that. I like that. So he's been up in space already. He's got, of course, his mood is excellent because of that, I assume. Carpenter, mood not so great. He does have endurance training and docking training. If he had a little bit more capsule skill, I think Carpenter would be a pretty well-rounded astronaut. So let's send Carpenter in, transfer to capsule training. Glenn, excellent endurance, but it doesn't have any docking training. Let's transfer Glenn to the docking training. So what we're doing here is that we've transferred these crews here for specialized training, advanced training in this case here. It's going to take 6 seasons for them to complete, but when they get out, he's going to be a capsule expert. And similarly with Glenn here, now that we're in docking training, he'll have 6 seasons of advanced docking training. When he comes out, he's going to be a docking expert, and we are going to need docking experts. Spring in 1962, it's time to put some more money into our Titan, put some more money into our Gemini, and put some more money into the research program for our Ranger. After our research rounds are done, we still have 80 megabucks left. Now we have, where are you, Titan? There we are. We have the Titan. The Titan has a maximum payload of 1,200 units. Coincidentally, the Gemini is a 1,200 unit as well, which means that if you're going to be flying a Titan, you're carrying the Gemini, and that's it. However, we have these strap-on boosters. These strap-on boosters are going to add 800 payload capability to our Titan. So we're going to go ahead and start working on these boosters, because when we are ready to start doing some docking, we need to have a rocket that's capable of lifting up the docking module as well as the capsule. We'll research these as much as we can this round, get them up to 53%. All right, now we need to plan some missions for next season. We have some flyby opportunities here. We have, of course, the Moon, Venus, Mars, and Mercury. Mars is our closest neighbor and would take us the least amount of time to get to. Of course, Venus, fairly close by as well. Mercury, I think, takes a little bit longer to get to. Of course, I'm just looking for prestige points. The sooner we get to complete the mission, the sooner those hasty prestige points come flowing back in. So, instead of doing a Mercury flyby, let's start working on doing our lunar flyby. I'm tempted to do another unmanned Earth orbital on Gemini, just to fly it. And now I think is the right time to go ahead and purchase that third launch facility. And we're just going to cross our fingers and hope for the best and send something out to Mars just for the prestige and maybe a little bit of science. So we have our lunar flyby. That's an unmanned flyby, just taking pictures. An unmanned Earth orbital test of the Gemini and a Mars flyby scheduled for next season. No crewed missions, but they should be interesting. We also have 32 megabucks left, and is that enough for astronauts? It's 15 for another round of astronauts. Definitely. Let's go ahead and sign up some astronauts. What are our choices here? Got some favorites. Of course, we do love Lovell. Crossfield. Who else is maybe going to give us some alternate history here? Oh, we need to bring Ed White in. Can't forget about you, buddy. Oh, wait. John Young. Got some good pilots here. Oh, of course. Stafford Foreman. Oh, my God. How could I forget Neil? Come on aboard, Neil. Don't know who A. White and R. White are. This one's pretty good, too. Got one more position left here. Who's going to be the one to make it? Pete Conrad, Endurance 3. That's fantastic. Okay, so I think we got a pretty good selection here. We got, of course, Jim Lovell, Endurance 4, a good pilot, bit of docking skill. Crossfield, oh yeah, Endurance 3. Maybe Ed White isn't the best choice. Only get Endurance 2. Docking 1. Can I get a better docking expert here? Maybe not. Maybe Ed was our best choice there. Yeah, you know what, Ed? I'm sorry. We're bringing you back on board. Okay. All right, so we've got our astronauts all selected here. They're going to be working through basic training. Good luck, everybody. $17 megabucks left, and docking module is 18. Oh, that's rude. We're just 1 megabuck short. Don't have any need to start buying kickers at this stage. If we're going to be following the, the historical model, we don't even need kickers technically. Maybe we just need to stock up on some equipment. Wait a second, how much is the lander probe here? 30 to purchase. Okay, that's definitely out of the budget. Alright, so yeah, let's just go ahead and pre-purchase some of the equipment for next year. Well, we can't quite afford everything here. What are our choices here? We may be coming back and altering some of this. Let's see. Future missions. A lunar flyby. Unmanned Earth orbital. And a Mars flyby. Well, we're just going to have to cancel the Mars flyby here. So a lunar flyby and an unmanned Earth orbital. Can we still afford that? An Atlas? A boosted Atlas? A boosted Atlas to test a Gemini. An unmanned Earth orbital boosted Atlas. That is an absolutely ridiculous combination, and we're going to do it. Okay, so we have the Atlas, we have the boosters. How about the flyby? We should still have the Ranger in stock. 1 Titan is all that's needed. Okay, let's go. We should be good to go for our next season's missions here. And first up is our Earth orbital. This is basically a repeat of the last mission. Different crew. We're hoping for a few fewer nail-biting moments here, I must say.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We have commit. We have liftoff. liftoff at 7:51.
All right, looks like they have a successful launch. Orbital insertion burn was a bit hairy there. The yellow line indicates they relied on the crew to give us a little bit of their expertise to help us. Earth orbital activities. All right, looks like we might have ourselves a good mission here.
Houston, we've had a problem. We've had a main B bus undervolt. You see an AC bus undervolt there, Guide, or ECOM? Negative, flying.
This isn't good. Oh, man. Premature burnout, engine cutoff, additional burn attempts are insufficient to deorbit. Craft is stranded in orbit. Walker is dead. That is unfortunate. We have just lost our first crew. Well, look at that. So much for the prestige earned for the first orbital. We just lost 10 prestige points. And of course, killed Walker. That's unfortunate. Obviously, with Mercury now at 6% because of the failed mission. Now, Mercury is considered a do-over, start over. We're simply not going to even attempt to research Mercury. Plan to abandon the Mercury anyways after these missions. So we're going to go ahead and scrub this one. Well, that was a pretty rough end, I gotta say. Unfortunately, we have lost our first crew. We're walking into fall 1962, probably looking at some more modest budgets, and maybe even doing some rethinking in how we're going to be doing this. We definitely won't be using Mercury again, but we have Gemini well researched and should be ready to fly very soon. Our crew is in training right now. Let's hope that we have a better 1962. Until then, thanks, Internet. Have an awesome day.